Hello, everyone. Just wanted to let you know we do have a few more minutes before our webinar begins at 3 o'clock. But just a reminder that you will be muted, but you can use the chat function to ask questions. And following the presentation, you will be emailed a PDF of today's presentation, along with a link to the recording. Just a few more minutes for people to join, and we will get started. All right, welcome everyone. It is 3 o'clock and we are ready to get started with today's webinar. Today we have with us Tracy Howard and Joe Longhorn, and they will be presenting part 2 of employment. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my share and let Tracy and Joe take over. But just a reminder that you are muted, but you may use the Q&A function or the chat to ask questions. If we're not able to answer those questions for you immediately during the presentation, the presenters will be able to email you as well to get that questions answered. So go ahead, Tracy and Joe. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share and you can take it away.
Well, I guess I'll go first if I may. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be back here and talking about benefits and work and how they mesh together. I work for what is now Behavioral and Physical Health and Aging Services Administration, the former BHDDA, and I work in the Bureau of Community-Based Services. So my role is all things employment within that bureau, and I have a strong focus also on benefits. I mean, knowing your benefits or a person understanding it and having quality information is just fundamental to making good choices. So, I think about in the world of self-determination and person-centered planning, it's incremental. It's absolutely needed. And just real pleased that Tracy's able to provide an overview today. I wanted to give you a fraction of a little history background and how this came to be, the development of it and usage. So the history of this goes back to about 2007 of the site that we're going to, Tracy's going to predominantly walk you through, DB 101 here in Michigan. And I just thought it would be important that you understood that partners across the state presented this concept. A strong partner, June Morse, who's retired a long time now, but from Michigan Rehab Services, and a woman named Karen Larson, a dear lady that oversaw benefit training across the state for Social Security Administration. And then a couple of people from CILs, especially Mike Zelli, now out of Flint, retired now, and Tony Wong, a real soldier from CIL in Lansing and the state CILs. And we lost Tony some years ago. That combined with the opportunity of a Medicaid infrastructure grant that Michigan received under the leadership of Michael Head at the time as a director of the programs. In that visionary stuff, these folks asking about it, they had heard about this thing called DB 101. And they asked if there's any way those federal dollars were liberal enough to help shape such a site in Michigan. And I come to find out it was. And then with Mike's support as my senior supervisor, we started building it. So in 2007, that happened. It started out with only one estimator on the site. It was pretty barren. And so there wasn't an awful lot going on to begin with. But then development occurred over the next several years, some with Medicaid infrastructure dollars, some with, thankfully, money from the SAMHSA from the feds. And we've grown that. We've added content areas. Then we added a Freedom to Work Medicaid buy-in estimator, as well as a student estimator, youth, young adult estimator. And as Tracy touches on some stuff, you'll see a number of content areas were added there, maybe as many as 15, 16, 18 content areas that are specific to helping a person better understand. Videos were added to engage the audience and make it quick and focused as to cutting right to the quick about if you're on this benefit or that benefit. Do you have this opportunity to earn or make more money? Yeah. And then we added a veterans focus, and that happened in the last year or two, and very pleased with that. One of the other most recent things is a mobile application was added so that you can use it on your desktop or on our phones, and I think that's been a real instrumental piece. The other thing I would share with you is just so that you understand it's been a long path. 2007, 8, 9, someplace in there. We were fortunate if we were seeing about 400, 500 hits a month on the site. When we started adding those content areas, or a few of them in the other two calculators, as they were called at the time, when we've changed the name to estimators, it grew to about 1,000 hits a month. But I started following repeat users, return users. And in 2019, we broke 5,000 hits in the month, and we saw, we were reaching into the 50, 60 repeat users, return users that was 16 to 19. And then in 2019 to present, give or take, we've been running around 5,000 hits a month with a little better than 300, 350, 400 return users a month. Last month, we had what you might measure as an outstanding month. We saw 7,379 hits on the site, and of that, 575 were return users. And I keep going back to the return users because to me it speaks to folks that found validity there, something that they're able to use. Certainly the work and the good work that Tracy's done through the development of this with help from a group called Griffin Hammis Associates has given us a lot of content. But Tracy's work in training across the states on benefit to work coaching and what we reference and refer to as dispelling myths, a 2.5, 3 hour training, has really drawn an audience to this, and people keep coming back for quality information. But that's a very brief background. I don't want to take up the time. I'd rather see Tracy use her time to share more. So Tracy, I give it to you.
Remember to unmute myself before I started talking. So thanks for having me. I'm Tracy Howard. I am the Benefit to Work Coach State Lead, and I also work very part-time now, but for a number of years prior to doing more work with the Benefit to Work Coach model in the state, worked for a community mental health provider, primarily out of their Oakland County offices, and doing exclusively benefits related work, and often got a little teased by my coworkers and colleagues, and sometimes and not understanding my love of all things benefits and how I could manage to do this job full time all the time, and why I wanted to know all these rules and regulations and all the nitty gritty details around this stuff. And I understand that a lot of folks don't get real excited about coming to a training that's regarding benefits. They know, you understand the importance of it, but some folks find the topic a little bit dry. So the training that Joe referenced, the Dispelling Benefit to Work Myths training, I'm going to have along with a copy of the presentation that we're going to do today. I'm also going to send out the latest flyer for that Dispelling Benefit to Work Myths training. And what that is basically a training to not make you an expert in benefits and work, but to be able to arm you with basic information about the eligibility and work incentives for the Social Security disability benefits and the health insurance benefits that come along with them, to be able then to accurately address basic questions about how benefits and work go together, and then who the benefit experts are, who are the benefit coaches, who are the benefit planners that we want to make sure that we're linking folks with to go into their individualized situation. What has happened is nowhere in our schooling or in our agency trainings or in our other trainings typically have we been given information about how benefits and work go together. So oftentimes we're operating off of the myths that have kind of come down that telephone line game, where it might have started with a truth or a kernel of truth, and as it's been passed down the line, that has been warped and that information is no longer accurate, and that unfortunately is oftentimes a barrier for individuals in going to work. So that Dispelling Myths training really helps folks. You gain that basic eligibility understanding for the eligibility and work incentives for the Social Security disability benefits, promising not to expect you to be an expert and know everything and anything there is to know about how benefits and work go together, but to arm you with some basic information. If you're interested in going down that route of learning more and wanting to be an expert, definitely let me know and I can hook you up with some additional information and resources on that. So in the other part of work that I do, in addition to that Dispelling Benefit to Work Myths training, is train what we have called benefit to work coaches. And that's a model in Michigan that we've been working on for a number of years, but more formalized in the last 3 years. The benefit to work model is a certification where we're training what we've called benefit to work coaches. They have to go through an intensive training to become mid-level experts, to be able to handle more straightforward situations about how benefits and work go together. If it's a complex situation, then they are pulling in the assistance from a benefit planner who's received even more training and able to handle more complex situations if need be. And our benefit to work coaches are primarily housed within community mental health agencies or provider agencies across Michigan. And currently we have just a little over 30, 31 or 32, I think our current count. And I believe we're in 8 of the 10 PIHP areas and many different of the CMHSP areas as well too. So it's a growing network of folks who are really dedicated and understand the importance of making sure that when folks ask a question about how benefits and work go together, that they are getting accurate, individualized, positive information, and it's an ongoing relationship to continue to support individuals as they encounter changes in their work lives, as they get a raise, as they get a bonus, if they choose to change jobs, if they choose to work more or less. These benefit to work coaches are the go-to folks within agencies or networks to be able to have that in-house or in-network expert to be able to address those questions and really getting folks the answers they need in regards to how benefits and work go together, and not without delay. So we've been, Joe can speak to the history much more so than I can, but over the last 3 years, that certification process and expectations with that has really kind of firmed up that model and that network, and getting, starting to collect some data to show the impact that that's having on individuals' lives and how many individuals' lives that we're touching with that information as well too. So I'm excited to lead that up and help folks ultimately be able to answer the questions they have about benefits and work. And so primarily what I'm here to share with you today is, as Joe gave a little introduction and background to, is the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site. I remember when that site came out many, many years ago, being impressed with the level of information that was on it, and over the years, how much more it's grown and developed and really worked to kind of become more user-friendly and help folks have a resource that they can trust to go to be able to get information that they need. And our benefit to work coaches are trained in using many of the tools on that site as their main tool in how to advise people about their specific information. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and bring that site up. We will send out a copy of the presentation. So as I navigate through the site, sorry, I've learned over the last 2 years of doing trainings on, on Zoom that I cannot click and talk at the same time. So I found one of my weaknesses. So you should be seeing that on your screen now. We will be sending out a copy of the presentation. So everything that I'm going to walk you through on the site is available in a PDF with the links in it as well too. So you don't have to scramble to write all those links down. So you will be receiving that at the end of today's training. So this is the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site. The address for it is just mi.db101.org. This is the main page when you navigate there, and you immediately see that you are in the right place for how benefits and work go together. And it's immediately linking people to information and resources about questions that they might have about benefits and work. So to get us started, I just want to go through some of the basic navigation tools and resources that the site offers, and kind of the purpose of the site as well too. So as Joe talked about, the Michigan chose to be a part of the DB 101 initiative. There is other states that are involved in this site as well too, and I'm going to show you how to figure out what other states are involved with DB 101 towards the end of our time together today. But this is what we're looking at right now, is the Michigan specific version of this site. So this site was developed basically as a resource for folks who have questions about benefits and work. We know that a lot of folks are have a fear that they're going to lose benefits, or that something negative is going to happen to their benefits if they go to work, and that's a barrier to work. So this site was developed to address those questions and concerns and fears that individuals have by providing accurate information in a variety of different ways. So there's articles, there's videos, there's estimator tools, there's small little mini or try it tools to show different concepts within the site. Any term that might be, a Social Security term or another benefit agency term within that site. If it's blue and underlined, and I'll show you an example of that. If you click on that, it's going to give you a definition of it as well too, to help kind of build that that language that is used in the world of benefits and the different agencies that are involved in this as well too, to help folks understand that information. So really by providing, information, these estimators, gathering the resources and information for this site from experts in a variety of different fields, so that when folks navigate to this site, that they can trust that the information that they're getting is accurate, valid, and has been tested and reviewed by numerous people, so that they feel that they're getting the information that they need. So basic navigation of this site, in the upper right-hand corner, I'm just going to log out real quick. You'll see that there is a register button. So I do encourage folks, whether you're receiving benefits or helping folks helping folks navigate the site, that you do create an account here. To create an account, all you have to do is click that register button and put in your email address and create a password, and you have an account. by creating an account on the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site, that's going to give you access to some additional features and be able to store some favorite tools and articles and sessions that you've worked on. And as we go through our time together today, I'll show you how that would work when you have an account with the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site. Along the top of the page are your main navigation tabs. So we can see we're on the home page now, but the work and benefits tab and the programs tab, you see my mouse hovering over, contain articles and information on a variety of different benefit related programs, and then articles about how benefits and work go together in a lot of different varieties. So if you click on either that work and benefits tab or the program tabs, it's going to take you into a sub menu with additional information on there. And then the MyDB 101 tab along the top as well too. Is going to allow you to access additional features in the vault to be able to store your favorite articles and favorite tools. And if you use any of the estimators that are available on this page, it'll save sessions for you as long as you have an account and are logged in through the site as well too. Any term, I'm just going to pick any random article. So any term, like I noticed as you're looking at any information that is in blue and underlined, just like I highlighted the word Social Security there, you'll see it's in blue and underlined. If you click on it, then that's going to go ahead and pop up a definition for you. So that really helps folks be able to kind of bridge that gap of understanding. So it's right in, you don't have to go anywhere else to find that information as to what some of these terms that are used by Social Security and other benefit agencies within that site. Additionally, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. On the bottom of every page is a menu of additional information, but there's this glossary tab. So if I click on that, any of those terms throughout the articles that are highlighted are also found in the glossary. So if I wanted to understand what substantial gainful activity is, which is we're going to talk about that in a little bit, what that means in regards to a work incentive. I clicked on the S letter and I'm going to scroll down and find substantial gainful activity. And there it's going to give me a definition of what substantial gainful activity or SGA is and the amounts for each of the years. So the glossary is also a valuable resource for you to be able to use. In addition to that, if you're looking for something specific, in the top right-hand corner of every page is the search box. So if I wanted information on the trial work period, I could type that in and it's going to show me what pages within the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site that the information is available about the trial work period. So you can use that to find information quickly as well too. And then the other component on every page in the lower right-hand corner is this blue circle with a question mark on it. This is the Get Help menu. Within the Get Help menu, regarding a variety of different topics, there's a directory of where folks can go to get additional help regarding questions that they have about benefits. So if they have questions about their Medicare benefits, you click the plus sign next to it. It provides a phone number and link to the Medicare website, as well as a phone number and link to the Michigan Medicare, Medicaid, or MAP program that can help them understand the MAP program and help them understand what their options are for Medicare coverage options. We will be talking about how work affects SSI and SSDI as well too. So where they can go to get additional help for that. So either by calling the Ticket to Work helpline or contacting a benefits planner. And most recently right here up at the top, we've added this Ask a Benefit to Work Coach feature. So folks who are utilizing this site, if they have a question about how benefits and work go together, they can click on Ask a B2W Coach and type in a question about work affects SSI or whatever their question is. submit that, and then a benefit to work coach will get back with them within 1 to 2 business days at the most. And if it requires a follow-up or a phone call conversation or a Zoom conversation, the benefit to work coach will assist them with that as well too. So that's a new feature within that Get Expert Help menu. All right. So also on this main page, now that we understand some of the basic navigation tools on this page, just to kind of give you a little more information about what we're going to find within the site. We already know first section here reinforces that folks are in the right place to get information about how benefits and work go together. And then Joe spoke about these benefit planning estimators. So they're available right here on the main page as well too. I'm going to show you a video in a little while about how to utilize this benefit and work estimator. And what that benefit and work estimator is a robust tool that an individual can put in what benefits that they're receiving and put in what their work plan is, either what they're currently working or what they'd like to earn, or a hypothetical of what it might look like if they earned $1,000 a month or whatever numbers they want to use. And this will show them based off of their specific situation what would happen with their benefits, what it would look like financially, and what work incentives would take place, and what would change, any changes that would occur with their benefits. Okay. The school and work estimator is a specific estimator to help folks who are under age 22 and receiving a Social Security benefit. What would happen in their situation. There's some specialized work incentives for folks under age 22 who are receiving SSI and working. And the freedom to work estimator is an estimator that specifically helps folks understand how they can be eligible for that special Medicaid category called freedom to work, which keeps individuals in Medicaid benefits when they go to work. If I scroll down a little bit further on this main page, more information on different programs, on cash and health insurance programs, specific information related to benefits for young folks. And then we get to this section here that includes videos. So there's a number of different videos on the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site on a variety of different topics. The ones that are animated, so the ones where we're seeing the cartoon-ish characters here, those are all about 3 to 5 minutes long. They're done in plain English, they're engaging, and they're a really great way to provide an overview for folks about any of the topics that you're seeing here. Instead of figuring out how to explain this yourselves, when folks ask you a question or just even for your own purposes in understanding this, these videos are a great resource to help folks kind of gain an overview of information related to eligibility for benefits, benefits and work, or what they need to do, such as the reporting wages for SSI, what they need to do once they start working. Last thing I wanted to point out is within the articles. So I just clicked on the programs tab, and I'm going to navigate to the article on SSI or supplemental security income, just to show you how these articles are organized. Once I get into that page over here on the left-hand side, we're seeing the table of contents. So this is everything that is within this article. And within the articles, there's these mini tools or mini try it tools. So any page that has the little tool symbol next to it means that there's one of those try it tools on that page. So if I click on the how SSI counts your income, now in the table of contents, it's going to show me at the bottom of that list what try it tool is on this page. So I see that your SSI benefit calculation try it tool is on that page. If I click on that, it's going to take me to exactly where that is on the page. You'll see I have it marked as one of my favorites. If I uncheck that, now it says add to favorites. So to add it to my favorites, all I have to do is click on it. And now it's in my favorite list. And if I click on try it, it expands that. We're actually going to come back to this in a little bit. But once I have saved a tool, if I go back up to the top of the page and go to the My DB 101 page, in the middle of it, you're going to see this My Favorites section. So now we see in favorite tools, I have the your SSI benefit calculation tool saved there. So I don't have to remember where it is in the articles. I can just click on it from my favorites list. And it's right there, and I can do an SSI calculation at any time. All right. So what I thought I'd do is kind of walk you through a scenario of what how you might be able to help folks connect with this site if they have questions about benefits and work. Before I move on with that, I see there's a couple of things lit up in the chat. Were there any questions that folks had that you haven't already addressed, Joe? Because I see you've got some responses in there.
I don't think so. I think they were pretty general so far, and
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try to save 10 minutes or so at the end. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Joe. All right, so what I thought I would start out with is if you yourself have questions about how benefits and work go together, or if you're assisting somebody who has questions about benefits and work go together, how can you utilize this site to be able to address those questions? So the first question that we need to look at is figuring out exactly what benefits a person receives. A lot of times individuals who are receiving a Social Security disability benefit, and there's two main types of Social Security disability benefits. There's the SSI benefit, which stands for Supplemental Security Income, and there's the SSDI benefit, which stands for Social Security Disability Insurance. So those two main benefits, a lot of times individuals who are receiving one or both of those benefits may use those terms interchangeably. So they may say that they're getting SSI and they're actually getting SSDI, or vice versa. I know before I knew all of these details about benefits and work and delve into that, I was guilty of using those two terms interchangeably as well too. But it's important that we know what benefit a person is receiving, or help them identify what benefits they're receiving, because the rules around eligibility and work incentives for those two different Social Security disability benefits are different. So there's an article on the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site that speaks to that. So if I go to the Work and Benefits tab, I apologize, it's in the Programs tab. So if I go to the Programs tab, right up here towards the top of the page is the What Benefits Do I Get article. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And this is going to help folks identify a little bit about the eligibility for the different benefits, and then ways to figure out what benefits that they are receiving. Okay. And if they're ever uncertain after reviewing this article as to what benefit that they're receiving, remember this blue circle with the question mark on it in the lower right-hand corner is available on every page. So if they're uncertain about what benefit that I'm getting, is it SSI or SSD, I'm going to click on that plus next to it, and it's going to give me the number to the Social Security office so that they can call Social Security to find that out, or they can create a My Social Security account, or they could, if it's a question related to benefits and work, ultimately, they could ask a benefit to work coach to get some advisement on answering that question, or they could call the Ticket to Work helpline or a benefit planner. So anytime there's questions about anything within the articles or figuring out what benefits a person receives, those are some resources for it. So this chart right here on this page that talks about the differences between SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, and SSI, I think is good information for ourselves and the individuals that we might be working with to help us understand those differences. So the SSDI benefits insurance benefit. So if you think about an insurance benefit, in order to have an insurance benefit, you have to do something to get insurance. So like your car insurance, in order to have car insurance, you have to pay your car insurance premium. And then if you get into a fender bender, then you're accessing your car insurance premium. So SSDI is similar. You've worked enough, you've paid enough taxes to have insured status. And then if you become disabled and meet the Social Security definition of disability, then you're accessing that insurance benefit. Okay. So it's an earned benefit. You worked enough, you paid enough taxes on those earnings, and then you became disabled. So now you're accessing that insurance benefit. So it's based off of a person's work history. And the amount that they're receiving is based off of the actual amount of taxes they've paid off of their earnings. The SSI, or supplemental security income, not insurance benefit, is based off of a financial needs basis. So person would have to have low income and low resources and meet the Social Security definition of disability. So that's the main difference between those two benefits. One's an insurance benefit. You have to have worked enough, paid enough taxes on those earnings to have insured status. And the other one, the SSI benefit, is based off of meeting the financial needs eligibility for that benefit. As you go through the article, you're going to see different ways that folks are able to verify what benefits that they're receiving. So say you're working with an individual and you take a look at this page and they're still not certain, I worked a little bit, but I also have low income and low resources. So you're not certain what benefit that they're receiving, but you still want to provide them with some basic information about how benefits and work go together. So what you can do is give them a little bit of information on both SSDI and work and SSI and work. So I'm going to take you back to this main page, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. And I would suggest utilizing these videos. And I'm actually going to share the SSI and work video with you right now. So let me just pull that up. So before I get started on that, video is almost 5 minutes long on SSI and work. And this goes through some of the kind of high level overall overview picture of how SSI and work go together. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Let me make it full screen so it'll be big for you.
Supplemental Security Income and Work, a Griffin Hammis production tailored for Michigan. Do you receive SSI? Have you ever wondered, what would happen if I work? Well, I'm here to tell you that there are 3 great things that can happen when you work. 1, you'll have more money. 2, you can stay connected to SSI. And 3, you can keep Medicaid. That's a good deal. It means if you go to work, you can get ahead and keep the safety nets you need. Now, there's a lot of confusion out there about SSI and work. So, let's get the facts straight. SSI fact number 1. If you work, you'll have more money.
Really? How's that possible?
Let's say you land a job making $1,200 a month.
That sounds great.
Can you guess how much your SSI would be?
I'm guessing it would be 0.
Actually, it's possible you could still receive some SSI. You see, when figuring out your benefit amount, Social Security reduces your SSI by about half of whatever your wages are. If you started with $841 of SSI, in this example, it would likely reduce to $283. So, you'd have $1,200 of wages plus $283 of SSI, for a total of $1,483 a month.
Wow, I thought I'd have less money if I worked.
Nope. By working and earning this amount, you'll almost double your monthly income. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's great.
SSI fact number 2. You can stay connected to SSI when you work. Let's say you get a really great job making $1,800 a month. When you earn this amount, your SSI would be $0, but you'd still have $1,800 in wages, so you'd be getting ahead.
Well, I like the idea of having $1,800, but what if I lost my job? Then what?
That's exactly what this is about. If earnings make your SSI drop to $0, you can keep SSI eligibility status. This is a safety net that keeps you connected to the system. So, if you lose your job, you can just tell Social Security and they can quickly restart your SSI.
Wow, that's great.
You're right. And the name of this great safety net is 1619B. SSI fact number 3. You can keep Medicaid when you work. Many people with disabilities rely on Medicaid for important services.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I use it for going to see my doctor and medications.
Well, I've got great news. Because you get SSI, there are ways you can keep Medicaid when you work.
Really? How's that possible?
Well, if you continue getting some SSI when you work, you'll simply keep Medicaid because your income will be low enough. And if you work so much that your SSI is zero, you can still use the 1619B safety net we just talked about to keep Medicaid.
That's fantastic.
To use 1619B, you need to follow all the SSI eligibility rules. But in Michigan, you can earn over $40,000 a year.
Wow, that's incredible.
So, the moral to this story is, by working, you can have more money, stay connected to SSI, maintain your Medicaid, and have a better quality of life. With SSI, it pays to work. Now, there are ways you can learn more about all of this on mi.db101.org. For example, you could read the SSI and work article, or you can use the tool called your SSI benefit calculation to see what happens when you earn different amounts. And if you'd like to talk to someone about how you can be better off with a job, call Social Security's Ticket to Work helpline at 1-866-968-7842. Their TTY number is 1-866-833-2967. To see more videos like this one, go to mi.db101.org. Knowledge is power. Take time to learn more about SSI and work.
Any surprises on that information? I think one of the things that folks often are surprised about is that 1619B provision that the video talked about is that an individual can earn this year who's SSI eligible. So even if that SSI payment goes to zero, they can earn up to $40,275 and keep their Medicaid benefit. So hopefully a couple of you on this session today have heard that before, but $40,275, 1619B provision keeps Medicaid in place and keeps that SSI claim open. So that means that individuals can go to work, get ahead financially. They can keep their SSI benefit if that calculation works out to that they're still eligible for one, or they can maintain access to that SSI benefit if they earn so much that it zeroes out the formula and still keep that SSI claim open as long as their annual earnings are below $40,275. And really the only reason that they're not eligible for an SSI payment is due to work. So they're still eligible for SSI in every other way, except due to their earnings from work. Keep that SSI claim open, keep Medicaid in place, get ahead financially. Probably a very different message than some of the other ones that you might have heard, where a person can only work so many hours a week or only earn so much or they're going to lose benefits. And that's just simply not true. So with that SSI benefit, individuals can work, they can get ahead financially, they can keep their cash benefit or access to their cash benefit, and they can keep the Medicaid health insurance benefit that comes along with it. So quick video, great way to show folks big picture overview of how SSI and work go together and providing them with a concrete example. Now, again, we weren't certain whether an individual had SSI or SSDI. Was there a question, Joe?
Yeah. Danielle says, I'm not sure we're going to have time to address it completely here, but she just says the state keeps Medicaid active, correct? Versus applications with MDHHS directly. There could be a fair amount behind that question or comment.
Yeah, quick answer to that is individuals who are receiving SSI, they are automatically eligible for Medicaid in Michigan. So there is not a separate determination that goes on with MDHHS to see if they're Medicaid eligible. They're approved for SSI. Social Security sends that information through their data exchange to the state of Michigan, and MDHHS turns on their Medicaid So as long as the person is still eligible for SSI, either in payment status or in that 1619B status, Social Security is the one that says that they're still eligible for Medicaid. There's not a separate determination through DHHS. So that is only true for SSI Medicaid or the 1619B Medicaid. Yep. For other Medicaid categories, then DHHS is the one that handles initial eligibility and ongoing redeterminations to see if they're eligible for that. Good question.
Thanks, Tracy. You're at about 15 minutes.
Yep. All right. So we weren't sure whether that person we were talking with was getting SSI or SSDI. So if they're getting SSI now, they know it's possible that they can go to work, get ahead financially, keep their cash benefit or access to their cash benefit, and keep their health insurance benefit. Well, let's see that SSDI and planning for work video and see
SSDI and planning for work. A Griffin Hammes production, tailored for Michigan. Do you receive Social Security disability insurance? Have you ever wondered, what would happen if I work? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can work, have more money, and keep the safety nets you need. The key is to make a plan.
What do I need to make a plan about?
Well, making a plan helps you to know ahead of time what will happen with your SSDI benefits. First, decide how many hours you can work and how much you can make an hour so you know what your monthly earning goal will be. Then, you'll need to figure out if earning that amount will cause any changes to your SSDI. You see, SSDI is an all or nothing benefit. You either get all of it or none of it.
Whoa, that makes me nervous, about working.
Well, I've got good news for you there. You have choices. Some people plan to get a job that pays more than their SSDI, so they're okay with it stopping. Other people can't do that right now, so their plan is to keep getting SSDI while they work. You decide what makes sense for you.
Huh. Well, tell me, how does Social Security decide if I'll get my SSDI or not?
They compare your work to a monthly limit called Substantial Gainful Activity, or SGA for short. This helps them decide if your SSDI should continue or stop. For 2022, SGA is $1,350 a month or $2,260 a month for people with blindness. Let's look at a couple examples. This is Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe gets $925 of SSDI. Now, he knows of a job where he could work 15 hours a week as a bookkeeper, making $11 an hour. That works out to $720 a month. And that's low enough that his SSDI would continue. So, Joe would have $925 of SSDI plus $720 in wages, which is a total of $1,645 in monthly income.
Really, that's great.
Let's look at one more example. This is Belinda. Hello, Belinda. She gets $1,100 of SSDI. Now, Belinda is finishing a nursing degree and plans to work 40 hours a week, making $20 an hour, which works out to $3,464 a month. She made a plan and knows this level of work will make her SSDI stop, but she's fine with that. She knows $3,464 in wages is a lot more than $1,100 of SSDI. If Belinda worked fewer hours to keep her wages below the $1,350 SGA level and kept her SSDI, she would have less than $2,450 a month altogether. That would still be much less than the $3,464 Belinda plans to make as a nurse, even after taxes, so she doesn't mind her SSDI stopping. And there are rules that can let Belinda keep Medicare if she earns enough to stop her SSDI.
Okay, but what if Belinda can't work and then she needs to get her SSDI back?
Well, that's a great question. The SSDI program has safety nets called work incentives. Belinda can use one of them to get her SSDI quickly restarted.
So she has more money and she can get SSDI back if she needs to? I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it is great. You can see how it's possible to work, have more money, and keep the safety nets you need.
Do those SSDI work incentives help in any other way?
Oh yeah, there are a lot of SSDI work incentives. Some let you keep SSDI even when you earn more than SGA. Some work incentives let you restart your SSDI quickly if it stops, just like you saw with Belinda. And other work incentives let you keep Medicare even if your SSDI stops.
I think I'm ready to make a plan to work, so how do I do that?
That's another great question. You can go to mi.db101.org and read the article about SSDI and work, or use the Benefits and Work Estimator to see how you can be better off with a job. And if you'd like to talk to someone about SSDI and work, call Social Security's Ticket to Work helpline at 1-866-968-7842. Their TTY number is 1-866-833-2967. To see more videos like this one, go to mi.db101.org. Knowledge is power. Take time to learn more about SSDI and work.
All right. Any surprises in SSDI and work? So we learned it's an all or nothing benefit, and that an individual can choose how they want to navigate that. So if their earnings goal, like the video said, is to keep that SSDI benefit and continue receiving that benefit plus their earnings. If their level of earnings is below that SGA or substantial gainful activity level, and this year that dollar value is $1,350. Or they can choose, like the other video, or the other scenario in the video was Belinda, who was finishing up her nursing degree and was going to earn almost $3,500 a month. She was okay with her SSDI benefit stopping because she knew she was going to earn enough to replace that and get ahead financially. So folks get to choose what makes the most sense for them based off of what their employment and earnings and financial goals are, to navigate that. And being connected, once they get some basic information, then we want to make sure that we're connecting them with either that benefit to work coach or a benefit planner, so they can get that individualized advisement to go into those situations a little bit further. But in the last 10 minutes, what we've done is we've looked at 2 different videos. We're not sure which benefits a person is receiving, whether it's SSI and or SSDI. But in 10 minutes or less, we've shown them 2 videos about how it's possible to work regardless of whether they're receiving SSI or SSDI. On that SSDI benefit, we now know you can work, you can get ahead financially, you can keep your cash benefit or access to your cash benefit. So the video talked about that. There's some ways to quickly restart that SSDI benefit if folks choose to have it stop based off working, and they can keep their Medicare health insurance benefit, even if they earn so much that they're not receiving that SSDI benefit. They're going to keep that Medicare health benefit in place. So now we know, regardless of whether it's SSI or SSDI, that a person can work, get ahead financially, keep their Social Security cash benefit or access to their cash benefit, and keep their health insurance benefit. Okay. So probably very different message again than what we've heard out there of, I heard you can work so many hours a week or you're going to lose everything and not be able to get them back and have to go through a long application process. And that's simply not true. And the power of giving this information to folks when they ask the first time plants that seed of possibility in helping them get connected to all the wonderful benefits of employment. So once a person becomes employed, what are those other benefits that they access that improve their overall quality of life that employment brings? So by busting down those barriers that individuals are going to lose something if they go to work, and helping them understand their reality, Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site is really a great resource to help folks connect with that information, and then ultimately getting them connected either with a benefit to work coach or with a benefit planner, or through the Ticket to Work helpline to receive that personalized, individualized information and to develop that ongoing relationship, so that anytime a person has questions about how benefits and work go together, or has a change in their employment situation, they have a resource to be able to go to get those questions addressed. It's complicated stuff, and we want to make sure folks have ongoing access to somebody who can help them navigate that world. And I always tell folks when I'm working with them that my goal is to avoid those oops, I didn't know it was going to happen situations. That folks have the opportunity to get the information they need to make an informed decision and choose how they want to navigate their world of employment and benefits. Running out of time, but I did was going to show you the DB 101. I'm going to pause that because I'm not actually going to show it to you because we don't have time, but I would recommend taking a look at this video that I have up right now. It's the benefits and work estimator. This one's not animated, but it's a good overview of that benefit and work estimator tool that's on the main page right here. So it'll provide an overview of how to use that tool and what the results would look like and how folks can get information specific to their situation there. Okay, and all of the sites, these videos, the DB 101 site in general, and the specific tools that I shared with you today will be coming out in that PDF of the presentation. So you have all of those specific links as well too. Any questions or comments in our last couple of minutes together?
Tracy? Thanks. Informative again. This is Joe. One of the videos, I think it's the first one. I pulled it up on my phone. It's the very first one, isn't it? Called keep going all the way over there. Welcome to Michigan Disability Benefits 101. Is that the calculator or is it the overview?
This is the overview to
The estimator.
This is an overview for the whole site. So it goes over
Thank
a lot
you.
of the features on the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site. Down the list a little bit is one specific to using the benefits and work estimator. Yeah.
And I just wanted folks to know that there was that
Michigan
available so that if they tried to show it to a family member, a friend, an associate or something, it could help people through it. And yeah, I put in there that, you know, even in the examples that we talked about, there's certainly a couple of, without getting into any details, there's options for folks to even make more than the numbers we were looking at in a couple of other ways. But it takes, you know, maybe attending a dispelling myths video and then figuring out and getting in contact with somebody that knows this stuff well so that you get really quality information. So.
Yeah, great resource. And we'll be sending out both the PDF of everything that we covered today. And then also, Heather, I didn't send that earlier, but I will send it to you as soon as we're done here, the Dispelling Myths flyer. That's free training, primarily focused on folks who are providing services to folks experiencing a mental illness because of the avenue that the funding comes through for me to be able to do that training, but it is a free training. It's 3 hours long. I generally offer it 1 to 2 times per month, and hopefully you're able to attend that. And I try to use a variety of techniques to keep you engaged in the information and keep it interesting for you and make it relevant and provide you concrete tools that you can use in your life to be able to, again, just address those basic questions about how benefits and work go together.
Hey, Tracy, remind everyone that what Michigan's DB 101 is Michigan specific. Another state is different.
Yeah, I think I forgot to do that. Let me share that site again. So on the Michigan Disability Benefits 101 site, if we scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, we see DB 101 National. If I click on that, it's going to bring us to the main DB 101 page, which is just db101.org. And it shows you all of the different sites that participate in DB 101. So if you ever have an individual moving to a different state and they need questions about if there would be any changes to their benefits by moving to another state, I'd recommend that you take a look to see if that state participates with DB 101 to get specific information. There are some differences in some of the other like Medicaid benefits and how those are administered in different states. So you'd be able to get site specific information by navigating to one of the other pages. All
We do
right.
just have a few more minutes. If anyone has a question they would like to put in the chat box, please do so. But I would like to thank Tracy and Joe for their time today and for sharing their expertise with us all. And just a reminder to all of our participants that we will be sending out later this week a link with the recording and also the PDF with links to all of these great resources that Tracy and Joe have shared with us today. Just one more minute left in our time today. I'm not seeing any questions, but if anyone
Heather?
does, yes.
This is Joe. I'd just say, folks, the general message here is just remember, with very little doubt, a person can work and have more money. Often a person can work or work more hours. And so the bottom line is people can work. We need to be proactive in that approach and help folks find the right information. So we hope this is a tool for it, but it doesn't stand alone. It doesn't solve it all. People that are serious about it should find reliable, knowledgeable, and very trained people to help them through the maze that is out there. So thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks, Heather.
Yes, thank you guys so much for participating today. We're getting some positive feedback in the chat box, but I'm not really seeing any questions. So it is 4 o'clock, so we can go ahead and end our session for today, and we will follow up with everyone with those resources. And thank you guys again so much for your time and your expertise, and we look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a blessed evening.
Yes, thank you. You as well.